I think Lenore Dove has a lot of similarities to Gale. Let's talk about it. Besides the obvious of having a close relationship with the main character, there's a lot of other reasons. In the beginning of Sunrise on the Reaping, on the day of the reaping, Lenore Dove explains to Haymitch that just because the Hunger Games is happening now, on his birthday, does not mean that it will always happen. And Haymitch, although he listens, doesn't really understand the point of the conversation. Now, in the beginning of the Hunger Games, the first book, Katniss meets up with Gale on the morning of the reaping and they have a conversation about the Capitol. Gale is yelling and screaming, and Katniss doesn't understand the point of the conversation, because to her, everything will remain as it is. The Capitol will always be in control. Not to mention, they both show an obvious rebellion against authority. While other people show their obvious fear to rebel, neither of them do. They are both set on the fact that the Hunger Games does not need to be a permanent thing. The Capitol does not need to have the ultimate control. Although Gale is obviously way more radicalized by the end of the series. They both share this want to show the injustice of what the Capitol is doing to them, of what this system is doing. Almost similar to another character that we know, Sejanus, perhaps. And this isn't to say that I think Lenore Dove and Gale are exactly the same, because they're obviously not. They have very different personalities. Lenore Dove operates in her rebellion more quietly than Gale ever would. But when you piece together Sejanus, Gale, and Lenore Dove, you see a picture being painted. 3 people who influence the main characters with their rebellion, although in different ways. And I truly believe that Gale and Sejanus would have been a lot more alike if Gale hadn't been radicalized and Sejanus hadn't grown up in the Capitol. Because unlike Lenore Dove, but very similar to Gale, Sejanus was loud in his rebellion. I just find it really interesting that in every single Hunger Games book, there is a main character who is influenced by another character who is pro-rebellion. Although obviously in different ways. I mean, Coriolanus obviously reacts very differently to the way that Haymitch and Katniss do. But I see a lot of people comparing characters all the time. Lenore Dove is this, Sejanus is this, and to me they've both always just reminded me of Gale. I repeat, opposition to authority, Sejanus and Gale. Lenore Dove and the Peacekeepers.